World Cup of rugby rights in 15-a-side rugby, men's and women's, 20, 31 and 33. How big a story is this for USA Rugby?
It's monumental. It is a real game changer. People have been working on the ground here so hard to build this sport, to grow it, to get it into the American market, and that World Cup is going to be a big difference maker, from investment to opportunities for players to gain something to aim towards, to continue to play this sport throughout college and after, but also for young kids when they get to see the World Cup, that will inspire them to pick up a rugby ball in the future. It's just huge.
Yeah, if you can't see it, you can't be it, right? The one person who has been it is Abby Gustardis. You've been to Olympic Games in sevens, World Cups as well. What's your view on this? How much can this grow the game in this part of the world?
It is massive. There's nothing like it. Having a World Cup at home, we've seen it for sevens. It grew the sport. The Olympics are growing the sport for sevens. However, with 15s, having this huge event on home soil will be monumental with the growth of youth sport.
Absolutely, yeah. It's such a great thing for the development of the game, and a lot of the young players here at this competition at collegiate level will be having one eye on all these big competitions, these international competitions that are coming up. We're moving on now in the men's competition to the red division. This is the second division, if you like, but real rivalry here in our next match between Tennessee and Florida. If you know anything about American sports, which I know a little bit about, not as much as you, Alex, but this is a big contest between these two sides.
This is a grudge match. This is bragging rights. You can see the alumni, you can see the supporters. It means a lot, and that's what you love to see in sports. Sometimes a bit more extra emotion makes it that bit more combustible and really brings the best out of the spectacle.
Oh yeah, the Gators of Florida up against the Volunteers of Tennessee. Florida in the blue and the red. There they are. Spoke to their head coach, John Supon, yesterday, former USA Eagle himself. There you go. They're doing the Gator chant from the bleachers here to try and rev up their boys against the Vols, the Volunteers of Tennessee. Josh Shelter and Luke Davis, co-captains of this Tennessee side. Matches against Oregon and Stanford also today. They're 15s club national champions in their division. Beat Bowling Green in the final and won a sevens tournament in South Carolina coming into this event as well. So they're in a bit of form, Tennessee, and this one should be well worth watching. Men's red division, USA Rugby Sevens Collegiate Championship, Tennessee, Florida, coming live at you from Fifth Third Bank Stadium at Kennesaw State University here. We're just on the outskirts of the city of Atlanta in Georgia. It's a great pleasure to bring it to you wherever you're watching. And a grudge match between Tennessee and Florida, and it's the Volunteers who will score, and it's the captain, Josh Shelter, who gets a 5-pointer early on.
Exactly the start they will be looking for from Tennessee. Clinical down there in the 22. Didn't take them a lot of time to score. And it all comes from a restart, which we talk about. It's just such a big part of the sevens game, Rupert.
He will attempt to convert his own try. Doesn't make great contact with that one, but a great start.
Down there in the 22. Quick hands as well. Nothing really the defense can do there. You can try and fly out, but it usually is very costly. You just try and get the try as far away from the post as possible.
Shelter will restart play once more. He does all the kicking for this team. Real character. In the training yesterday. Big fan of Scooby-Doo. It's Josh Shelter, he told me.
Who isn't?
Oh yeah, one of the greats.
That's my favorite.
Here come the Volunteers once more. Florida without any possession so far, and Shelter puts the foot on the gas, trying to get away from the defense. And the Gators come in and try and win possession. They don't get it. Christian Mullen with a loose pass, and that's gone Free out of contact as well. Luke Mathis now. Arriving just on time is Tom Pellini. Over the hands of Shelter, the head rather, and that's loose ball. Somehow Tennessee have held on to it. They got the penalty too. They'll go quickly. Luke Davies tried to pass it away to Shelter. It was a wobbly old ball. The skipper couldn't take it, so we'll send a scrum to Florida.
Tried to salvage that pass off his bootlaces, but just couldn't hold on to it. And this finally gives Florida a chance to have some possession and see what they can do in attack.
Just outside their own 22, Ryan Duffy. He's the scrum half. There he is in the 9 shirt. Let's have him go quickly with the free kick. You can't kick a free kick out over the sideline on the full for the line-out like you can do with a penalty. That's why you often see the tap and go, but didn't work out for Florida.
They'll be frustrated with that. Been waiting all game to get your hands on the ball. Almost 3 minutes in, really no possession. Finally get a tap, and you give it right back and on the defensive.
Waiting all day for this game particularly as well, up against Tennessee. They got plenty of support inside here, the Gators, and they want to make an impact. Tom Pellini, an angled run, tape around his head, offloads the ball to Garrett Mormon. He's flung to the floor. Pellini arrives just in time and puts his head down, makes some hard yards. Got to do the dirty stuff as well, even in rugby sevens. Nice hit and spin this from Christian Mullman. Ball's loose. Can Florida kick it clear? Nothing going their way at the moment. Shelter has it, the try scorer. Good carry from him. Makes 4 or 5 yards. Again, puts the Florida defense just on the back foot. And how about this for a run and a score? That's brilliant from Luke Mathis. Powerful. Punctures the Florida defensive line. That was all muscle from Mathis.
And it was good patience from Tennessee to be in the 22 for so long. They just held on to the ball, keep stretching it wide, finally getting the try. And they've just had all the possession in this game, and that's why they're ahead.
Shelter just slices another conversion attempt, so remains 10-0, 2 to go in the first half. So important, isn't it, Alex, when you're running into contact, keep that leg drive going, make the defender finish the tackle.
Absolutely. We've said it a few times, gain them inches, but those little inches on the game line dictate everything in rugby.
Restart not taken by Florida. Justo Olivero just unable to take it. He's frustrated too. He had a bit of time, maybe too much time.
The third restart that they've really been unsuccessful of dealing with, and just there's been no gameplay down in the opposite half. It's really been, they started the game with a restart, lost it, put into their own 22, and it's kind of been a rinse, wash, repeat so far of that.
Yeah, Florida not making the camera operators work too hard at the moment, are they? They're all pointing in one direction.
The bright side for them is that it's only 10-0, and that is salvageable in sevens. There's plenty of time left in this game. They've just got to start to get their act together.
But here come Tennessee. Once again, Pellini, he's been lively. Coming around the corner once more. 2 Floridians needed to bring him to the floor. Shelter. He's got support. Decides to hold on, straighten the attack. Keeping this Florida defense honest once again. It's a pick and go from Christian Mullman. And scoring is Luke Mathis once more. He is a handful, this guy. He's all elbows and knees and muscle and sinew, and he's so hard to stop.
You can just see in his intensity in his walk. He's hard to stop. He packs a punch for his side, and he just, looks at the goal line and said, I'm running that way. Come stop me, guys. And it's been working for him so far.
Horrible bloke to tackle. Just not someone you want to have to look after. Oh, they did their best, but Molman, he's all meat. So that'll take us to half-time. Tennessee leading Florida by 15 points to 0. The grudge match going the way of the Volunteers. We'll take a break. Be back in a second. McLean and Josh Shelter doing the talking inside the Tennessee huddle. They lead Florida 15-0 as we get the second half underway. It's been overcooked off the restart by Florida, just what they didn't want, having conceded 3 tries in that first half.
Absolutely. Just the error count is just giving Tennessee shot after shot at them.
There is Shelter, the co-captain, gets the ball away. Pelini. Change of direction here from Luke Davis back to Josh Shelter. Inside ball, another offload could cause problems, and they're in again. Tennessee through Luke Davies have another try. That is number 4.
Silky attack. It comes from the offload. Shelter hits Molman, who hits his man, who gets the try over Davies in the corner. And that offload game, so valuable in sevens, just because there's less defenders on the field, only one sweeper there at most. If you can break that line, get that offload, there is a good chance of a try on offer.
Conversion doesn't make it, remains 20-0. They beat Oregon 22-10, Stanford 22-19. And they're on course for another win here. Lots of time to go in this second half. They need to finish the job, but Tennessee looking for a 3-3 record here, day 1. And what we've seen so far, they're playing in the red division here, Tennessee, but they wouldn't be able to place up in the gold on this sort of evidence, Alex. They look like a pretty accomplished Rugby Sevens outfit. And here they go again.
Definitely packing a punch in this tournament, and that's what you see with some of the brackets sometimes. It's not always the fairest gauge of where the seedings can lie, because it's down to opinion sometimes, and Tennessee really turning it on and showing that they are a team to watch in this competition, and they are handy across the board. Defense, offense, their kickoffs, every aspect of sevens, they've been fantastic.
Yeah, their steals at the breakdown too. That was Shelter, the captain, who won that one. And Davies gets us restarted, swings it back. Here is Shelter again. Will he be rewarded for all his great work? No, the generosity with the try assist. Wow, that was all about Josh Shelter. And that's another fine score for Tennessee.
And here it is, straightens, fixes the man. And then not greedy, puts his player away. And they're just running away with it now. And you feel for Florida, they've been on defense pretty much the whole game. And that's just exhausting, Rupert. And just the urgency and the ability to keep up with Tennessee is slowly drifting away.
Garrett Mormon finishes the try. Good support play from him. 25-0. Just under 4 minutes to go here. This is the men's red division. So Tennessee will be going through as a top seed out of the men's red competition. They'll be looking to get some finals on finals day here at this competition. All that to come tomorrow. We're still in pool play here. Some big pool deciders coming your way later this afternoon here on CNBC. Great to have your company wherever you're watching. Florida here, trying to find some way through this Tennessee defense. They try the kick option, but unfortunately that doesn't work out for them either. It's a give back for the Volunteers, and they'll go again.
Frustration kicking in there. You can see with that kick, they're trying to get something started, but you've got to credit Tennessee's defense. They're staying connected in a line. They're being effective in the tackle. Their discipline's been good, so they're not giving easy pens away to Florida. There's not much on offer from them there. Someone's going to have to create something, a line break, an offload, something. But right now they're on the defensive again, and you know, Tennessee have been pretty clinical down here when they've had the ball.
Yeah, we will be on NBC as this tournament reaches a crescendo on Sunday. We will have all the finals for you. Men's Gold Bowl, Women and Men's Red Cup final, and of course the Women and Men's Gold Cup final as well. It's going to be a fantastic couple of hours of Rugby Sevens that. Can't wait as this tournament reaches a conclusion tomorrow, but plenty of stories to unfold before then.
So much to talk about, but there's nothing like finals footy when you're playing for trophies on the line, and the crowd will be here, the urgency, the atmosphere. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, players a little jaded. You see Josh Shelton, the captain, there with his hands on his knees. 3 games in the space of a few hours in this kind of heat really does take its toll. The error from Florida once more, and an opportunity for Garrett Moorman, and he's got the jet shoes, and he will slam it down for number 2. Yes, sir. The Volunteers have got another one.
Just like that, they strike. Forced pass, too much on it, into the Florida player, spills it. And it's just the way that they move the point of contact. Not just the first guy running off the turnover. They move it to the edge. They find the speed, they find the space, and then they pull the trigger. And that's a really nice try.
So useful as well to have a get out like Garrett Moorman on the flank, someone with genuine pace who can just do something different when you need it. When you get to tight games down the stretch on finals day, players like him can make the difference.
Completely agree. You know, if in doubt, chuck it to your speedster in the game of sevens and see if he can have a go, because there is no substitute for speed out there with this much space on the field.
An error from Tennessee. Is the siren for full time. Play this one out. Restart here. This is the final play. Can Florida finish with a flourish? They've been working hard all game. They've come up with nothing so far in terms of the scoreline. Jamie Davies makes some yards. Peter Spotto off the bench, ball out the back, behind Spotto that time. It's been scooped up by Olivero. That was nicely done, little in and away, committed defender, found the offload for Spotto. They set up a breakdown. Tennessee go for the steal, they don't win it. And there's a yellow card as well against the Volunteers. Wasting time was the call from the referee. I'm sure the Tennessee player entirely agreed with that decision, but they're playing with 6 against 7 now. Can Florida take advantage? One more pass might do it, but he can't get the ball away in contact. Tennessee trying to kick it away, a complete air swing, and this might result in a try. It's kicks over the end line. by Garrett Moorman, and that will be that, a helter-skelter finish to what was a dominant display from Tennessee. 32-0 over Florida. Let's get some reactions straight away with Abby Gastaitis and the Tennessee skipper.
Here with Josh Sheckler of Tennessee, a huge win. You went 3-0 today. How are you feeling?
Ecstatic. I mean, we got everything clicking on our end. Coming out and going 3-0, that's the best you could ask for in this tournament. I mean, we're #1 seed tomorrow, and that's what we wanted.
And you are here playing in front of friends and family. What does that mean to you?
It's awesome. They travel a lot. Tennessee travels a lot. It's just awesome. They're always behind our boys, and that gives us the extra motivation to finish tries and keep going at the end of the day.
You already mentioned it, #1 seed tomorrow. Does that put any pressure on you, or is it still fun, enjoyment? What's the message going into quarterfinals?
It's definitely pressure on us, but it's the pressure we wanted. We need that #1 seed. I mean, come out, play the big dogs. That's what we want. We want to win.
Thanks, Josh. Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, Josh Shelter, all smiles, and why not? He started the scoring for Tennessee. They're top seeds in the men's red division tomorrow. We'll take a break. Be back very shortly.